Well, here we are again with another piece of crap. Let's recap. 2 years ago, I said goodbye to residential dehumidifiers and welcome the commercial units. I can't remember what I paid for it, but nowadays they're over $700. After 1 year, it died, just like the rest, and it became a seat. And how it failed was the Freon leaked out, so the bottom of the condenser froze over and the top was still warm. Luckily, mine broke within 11 months, and Vevor honored the warranty and replaced it with this unit. That now, a year later, has also failed for the exact same reason. So instead of having 2 of these lay around my basement, this is where we're going to enter the for entertainment purposes only portion of the video. I'm going to try to fix it. In the grand scheme of things, dehumidifiers are pretty simple. You have the evaporator on the outside, which is cold, right? And the air rolls through and it'll condensate onto the fins. So what we're looking for is the big pipe coming from the pump going to the front end. In my system, it's nice right here in the open. Now technically I should be using a braze-on tap, but there's no one local that had them and I need this thing up and running today. And I also have that other unit I plan on fixing, and then I'll go back through and fix this one the proper way. But for the meantime, we're going to take this screw-on tap, put it on here, and get this thing up and running. These are pretty much for just piercing into systems and then recovering the refrigerant from them. They're not made for a long-term solution. So these style piercing valves have different shims that you put in for different tube sizes. Not exactly something you want to be using for a permanent solution, but in a pinch, when you have to have something running like I do, this is what I can get here in town today. So we're gonna go ahead and find the right sleeve and install it. There's enough room for my push connect, which I prefer using those. Oh yeah, I like that. These are arguably more annoying to put on than braze-on. The reason I'm doing a temp fix is our area flooded and water came in the house, and I'm trying to get it out before the mold starts. It's so humid in the basement, the cold water lines are condensating. All right, I said it's guten tight. So I kind of threw the cover back on here because I needed to plug the display back in. This display is actually removable, but the cover's not in the way, so we're just gonna leave it there for now. And now I'm gonna hook up all my hoses, and we're gonna get ready to suck all the air out of the lines because it's very important you don't have any air in your lines. Another thing, I like to double check, make sure everything's tight as hell. I have not done anything with the piercing valve just yet. I'm just keeping that for right now so we can evacuate all the air out of the system. Oh, I'm not using a high side. We're just going to get this beer can cold. This is the temp fix. I'm not going to overly worry about it. But when I do go back through and fix it the right way, I'll be putting in a high side, brazing one in, so then I can check all the pressures. All right, let's make sure everything's tight. And I'm gonna make sure it's open. I'm gonna open this, open the vacuum, open, and make sure the high side's closed because it is not hooked up. And I'm gonna go suck down the air. All right, looks like all she wrote. So we'll close off the vacuum. Turn off the pump. I'm just gonna watch it for a couple minutes to make sure that it doesn't lose any vacuum. So now I'm gonna go ahead and close this off. Now we'll pierce the pipe. Okay, now we're gonna back it off. Seems to be good so far. We'll open the valve back up. Showing about 125 PSI while it's off. So real quick, I'm gonna be filling this with this tank upright. R32 is a single gas, there's no blend to it, so you can actually fill it off the vapor. If this was a mix, it would actually have to be upside down and I'd be charging it with liquid. This process is a bit slower, but this being a small compressor, I don't want to slug it, so we're just going to do it this way. So this exact model has a low side of 260 and a high side of 550. I don't know that we're actually going to hit that on the low side, but what we are going to do is make sure that the suction, which is the low side, is about 40 degrees, maybe 38. And then obviously I'm going to be monitoring to make sure we don't overpressurize it. I got my thermal camera so we can check the gradient of cooling. And then also I'll just be using this to measure the temperature of the pipe. So let's get rolling. Start off, this thing needs to be running full tilt, so I'm gonna go turn it on, throw it in continuous. I'm honestly not sure what those mean, but you know what? We'll just crank this way down. There we go. Surely that won't turn off. All right, we got a low side of like 20, so this thing seriously needs a charge. So it's actually only been running for a couple minutes, and you can already see some frost building up on there. Nice and cold there. Nothing in the pipes. But I'm not gonna let it run long enough to show you, but the bottom, if I just let this keep running, will just turn into ice down here, and then the top will still be like 70 degrees. So anyway, we're gonna get charging. So I'm gonna go ahead and close cold side. Let me close the refrigerant. Let me zero it. That way we can keep track of how much we use. Slowly. Okay, we're gonna open this slowly. I like to just open everything nice and easy. No point in rushing. Now we're gonna start adding it in just slowly. Now I don't have to be as careful as I would if this was being charged with liquid, but I'm still going to take it slow again because I don't want to ice up anything and cause any problems. Slow, steady process. I'm going to keep doing this and keep measuring the temperature until there's no more ice building up on the evaporator, and I'm happy with the pressure, so I'll catch back up with you in a bit. All right, so I've added about 4 ounces. Pressure's up to about 110-ish, 105. Now you can see the ice is starting to melt off already, so it's starting to look pretty good. I'll show you with the thermal camera. Still got about 60 there, but now the whole bottom half looking about 44, so doing pretty good. It's gonna keep adding some more. All right, so I put in about 6 ounces. We're at about 120 PSI, and that's right where I want it to be, because I want a 40-degree saturation. So let's go ahead and check it. I honestly should be checking the hot side too. I might use that to check the hot side, just to double check to make sure we're not damaging anything. But no, we're looking good. I wonder if we're making water. But we're actually starting to see some condensation on the fins. So I am pretty satisfied. Now I'm just gonna wait around for a little bit and just monitor everything before I decide if I want to add more or leave it there, but this might be looking pretty good. Well, I got that 38 degrees I was looking for. It's actually maybe just a hair cooler, 37. That'll be fine. The evaporator's doing pretty good too. We're holding steady at 120 PSI. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut off the valves. I already went through and let the system suck down the remaining high pressure refrigerant in the lines. This is all closed off. The only last thing I have to do is unhook it. I'm gonna go recover whatever's left in the tube, and we'll button this up and we'll see how much water it makes. All right, she's been running for about 15 minutes and the water is starting to roll. Yeah, probably maybe a quarter cup, half cup. Hey, look at the mold that came out of the pipe. Well, she's looking pretty darn even now. All right, guys, once again, this is still just a Band-Aid. Buy me time until I can fix my other one, and then I'm obviously ordered 2 sets of parts so I can fix this one too. And I'll be checking it with Better Bubble and looking for where this leak is. Like, the other one probably has 2 or 4 ounces of refrigerant left in it, so I'm gonna recover it, load it with nitrogen, and then check for the leak. Hopefully patch it, and maybe we can get more than a year? I don't know, might be optimistic. But at the end of this, I plan on having 2. And I guess next year for the 4th annual, we'll check in again. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Peace.